Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Full Stack Throttler. Time is like 1:49 in the midnight. I know it sounds crazy to record a video at this time, but yeah, I just like wanted to like record this video for you guys. So as many of you know, like this channel is like about two things. One, whatever the technical cool things like which I learn and implement, I just want to like share it with you guys and. Like if you are someone like who is like learning new technologies, then like this will be a great place to explore different technologies like PHP, iOS, Android, web like HTML, JavaScript, jQuery. So I will make sure like it's very informative, and at the same time I do racing videos and adventure trips like whenever I get some free time. So these are the two things like which you will basically find in this YouTube channel. So if you are someone into these things, then I would recommend you to like subscribe to this channel, and if you like these videos, like then please don't forget to share it with your friends. And you know what, like in today's video we are gonna build a really cool stuff. So we are going to build a real-time chat application using WebSockets actually. So I'm planning to like do it approximately about like 30-40 minutes of in time. So without further delay, like let's jump into the topic. So theory time. So before I straight away jump into the coding part, I want to explain what is WebSocket and how it works, so that like you have a better understanding like what we gonna do and how things are like working. So basically WebSocket uses TCP protocol uh, to communicate with the other side. So again, it might sound little so technical, but like stick with me, like it's gonna be interesting. So totally there are like two commonly or widely used protocols, right? One is TCP, other one is UDP. So you might have studied both this protocol, but like it's just a short intro for these two things which I would like to give. So in TCP, like basically this TCP is an acknowledgement based protocol, whereas the UDP doesn't need an acknowledgement. So client server clients sends a message and waits for an acknowledgement from the server, whereas like in UDP protocol, this client doesn't give anything for this like server, like it doesn't care anything about the server. It just like keep on shooting the message to the server, and it doesn't need an acknowledgement. So sometimes what happens is, while like basically the data will be like transmitted or like will be like going in the form of packets, right? So since it's not an acknowledgement based protocol, sometimes due to internet connectivity or the congestion in the network, some packets might be lost, meaning they might not reach the server. So which means basically we have a data loss in UDP, whereas in TCP it clearly depends on the acknowledgement from the server, which means if for some reason the packets lost in the way, then server tells that, hey, I didn't, let's say like let's say like this, right? So let's say you have 1 2 3 4 5 packets, and you are sending packet 1, packet 2, packet 3, packet 4, packet 5 here. So received, failed, received on the server side. Then immediately what the server does is it tells your client saying that, hey, I didn't receive the third packet and then the fourth packet. So then what it does is the client again sends those failed packets, so ensuring that the data is like delivered at any case, whereas like it doesn't happen in UDP. And that is the reason why WebSocket uses TCP protocol, because let's say if you don't know, WhatsApp uses, when you send a message to your friend, the message should reach your friend, right? It shouldn't get lost in while it is like going from here to here. So that is the reason why WebSocket uses TCP, because it's a guaranteed protocol, unlike UDP, right? Because in UDP, like, it's not guaranteed that the message will be delivered. So now we know the reason why WebSocket uses TCP protocol, because it's reliable. Before I go to the next one, basically we are talking about two things here. One, client. The second thing is server. Server is the place where your WebSocket will be running. Okay, and client tries to connect to it. At the end of the day, this is your mobile and this is like sitting somewhere, right? And these two things needs to talk to each other to establish a connection between them. And for that, basically the WebSocket, what it does is it uses an HTTP protocol or HTTPS protocol to do a handshake, meaning they make a connection between these two, and then this client tells the server that, see, I just need this handshake with you because I need a WebSocket protocol. So what the server does is then it upgrades this HTTP protocol to a WebSocket or a secured WebSocket protocol. WSS is for the secured one. Okay, so this is like very important to understand actually. So basically the first connection starts with HTTP or HTTPS, and then like it gets upgraded to WebSocket, like the WS protocol. Okay, now we know why the WebSocket using TCP protocol, and at the same time why it uses HTTP request at the beginning, and then like it upgrades to WebSocket. So as a next step, we know that, so our WebSocket is like sitting here. This is client 1 or like you, and this is client 2, which is like your friend. So both of you connect to this same WebSocket server. So you send a message, and then like WebSocket server sends this message back to the destination. Okay, this is how this communication basically works. Now I think this is good enough theory, and one more thing is like every WebSocket server, like if you're someone like very new to this, then the default port number for HTTP is like 80, and for HTTPS is like 443, and if you want, like you can use these ports to run this WebSocket server. But in case if your server is like already having an HTTP server like Apache or like Nginx, and if you don't want to mess up with it, then it's better to use a different port numbers other than these two things actually. And basically you should never use 0 to 1023 port numbers for any new services like which you're gonna run in your web server, because like these are like for system level port numbers. Only the system is like allowed to use these numbers actually. So the typical port number where you can run your WebSocket servers are like 8080 or anything above like 0 to 1023. Fine. So I think like this is pretty much enough theory to understand like what is WebSocket, how it works, and yeah. So let's get into the coding part now.
Let's start. Okay. So we are going to create a dedicated folder for our project. So I'm going to call it as like real-time chat. So we have this folder now. So cd into that folder. Okay. So I'm going to initialize the npm module. We need to do this because we will be like using um, the WebSocket package in it. So that is why. So what is the package name? I'm going to just give it as like real-time chat version like 1.0 description, um, real-time chat application entry point index.js fine test command no no nothing nothing yes. Okay, now this is done. So let's go ahead and then like um, now let's go ahead and open this particular folder. So yes. Now let's install the WebSocket package. Okay, we have the WebSocket package installed. The next thing what we need to do is like as we were discussing in our theory session, we were talking about two things. One is client and the other one is like server, right? So we're gonna create the server part first. So I've created a JS file called server.js in which I'm going to like use the WebSocket package here. So const WebSocket equal to require socket. Next, I'm going to create a WebSocket server instance. So let server equal to WebSocket.server, which is expecting. Oh, that's fine. So I have to give the port number in which this WebSocket has to be like created. Next. So first, what we need to do is like we need to listen for the incoming connections in this server. So server.on connection, and I'm going to give a callback here, and I'm going to use the arrow function for it. I will get the socket and also the last request of that socket actually, right? Okay. And just for debugging purpose, I'm going to print actually new client connected. Next, uh, what I'm going to do is like mm, I'm going to like listen for the uh, incoming message and also the close event of this particular socket. So socket dot on message uh, message and socket dot. If you notice one thing, we are not listening for the server, but like we are listening on the socket actually. So socket dot on sorry close. Okay, simple, right? Now I'm just going to like log it here. And client disconnected. Okay. And here WebSocket server is running on localhost 8080. Okay, cool. So now quickly check this if it works. So node server.js. What is the problem? Oh, sorry. I have to call the like create the instance. Like I have to use this new keyword. So this is what like happens when a Swift guy codes. So yeah, go ahead. So the server is like running. Now we gonna quickly check if we are able to connect to it. And I'm going to use the Postman for it. Okay. I'm not going to pass anything here. I'm just like going to connect to the socket. And if you see, it's connected, right? So our socket server is like working fine. So next, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to create the client file, client.js. So client.js, and also, as I said, two friends gonna like talk with each other, right? Uh, so we're gonna use the web page to do this. So I'm going to create client.html, and I'm not going to like focus much on the HTML part here. Just so you know that like I'm using Bootstrap to Bootstrap for the layout purpose. So I'm just like going to put the HTML here, and like of course like I will give a bit of explanation like what I'm doing here. Uh, so basically like you will have in your header like you need to use the Bootstrap CSS file. So that, like you can use the Bootstrap styling, and also like you have to like include your client.js file in this HTML file, and we're gonna have like one box to register ourselves and one box which will provide option for us to like enter to whom like we have to send the message, and also like what message we have to send. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to like quickly run this page and then like show you guys so that like what we are like you will know like what we are trying to build here. Um, so how do I do it? So okay, we have our client.html, right? Okay, this is how it's going to be. Okay, so we will enter the username for us and register with the socket server, and then like we will type the username to whom we have to send the message and enter the message and then like hit send to send it. Okay, cool. So since we are talking about like two people, so obviously like we will open one more window. Uh, okay, so this is going to be like user one and then like user two. Fine. Next, um, next what we are supposed to do is so we have to register ourselves, right? So first let's try to create the client side socket setup. So when it comes to browser, you don't need the WebSocket package at all because all the browsers these days have this WebSocket built in. So what we need to do, let socket equal to new WebSocket and the URL to which we need to connect to. So WS localhost 8080 is where we need to connect. Now socket dot on open, yeah, and socket dot on message And since we are talking about on message, ideally, like we would expect the message to actually be the payload, right? Okay, let's call it as like message itself. Makes more sense. And socket dot on close. Okay, so um, oh, connected with server, incoming message, and then disconnected with the server, disconnected from the server. Okay, so it's done. And what I'm going to do, like we have already included this client.js file here, right? So we should ideally see these sockets are like getting connected when we load this page. So if you right click and then like inspect it in the console, okay, what is the problem here? WebSocket connection to failed. Okay, why is that? Because the socket server is like not running. So run this and come back to this page, rerun it. Now it's connected. And again, like check it here, rerun. Okay, it's connected. Okay, okay, all good. Now we have to register ourselves from here. So to do that, what I'm going to do is uh, function register myself with this username, right? So I'm going to create a payload. Like let's say let payload equal to um, action register user data uh, username is the key and this username is the value here. And I'm going to create a helper function here, send payload to server. And what I'm going to do is like I have to first convert this JSON object into a string and then like send it to the socket. So let let um, payload JSON string. I'm just like ideally like I would just like stop with this, but like just for your understanding purpose, like I'm keeping it like this actually. JSON dot stringify payload, and then use this socket instance to send the string. Socket dot send this payload JSON string. Okay, and now use this method here. Like call this send payload to server, and then like pass this payload in JSON object which we created here. Now I'm going to call this function when I click the register button. So, okay, done. And the client side part is like done. What about the server side? So on the server side, I'm going to write a method called function handle incoming message uh, message, and I'm going to call this method here. In this way, like I don't want to like write everything here so that like it looks neat. And here I'm going to parse the received message actually. So let let payload equal to JSON.parse this received message, and now what I'm going to do is like if okay, so first let's get the action equal to payload dot action, and let data equal to payload dot data. Now if action equal to this register user, then what we need to do, uh yeah, and also like I need this socket instance for future references. uh so I'm going to pass this socket instance to this method. Okay, so here let username equal to data dot username, and and if user name not equal to undefined, then which means we have a valid username to register, and I'm going to create a dictionary, empty dictionary here. So uh, let let mm, clients equal to empty dictionary, and here lines of this username equal to what is it, this socket. Okay, cool. Next, once this is done, maybe like let's say we can send a welcome message to the client, right? So let payload, or I'm going to write one more function send welcome message socket. So let payload equal to action as welcome data. It's not mandatory that like you have to like keep an action and then like data, but I structure in this way so that like it makes a lot of sense and easy to understand. So messages, yeah, and also like welcome with the username, right? So username, uh, welcome. Okay, I have to use the string interpolation here. So welcome username, and then send this payload to this socket. Socket dot send JSON dot stringify payload. Okay, and I'm going to use this here. Then welcome message with the username and then this socket. Okay, cool. So now let's test this. I'm going to stop this socket server and rerun it, and uh, I'm going to try to register this user called JP, and let's see what I get in the console. So I'm just like make it like floating, yeah, and click register. And what do we have here? Nothing. Why so? Console sources line.js. Okay, when I click register, the username is like undefined. Okay, cool, makes sense. So why is it like undefined? uh, register myself is the text field ID, and it goes oh, sorry, I have to like still call this register user here, and then like call this register myself. Okay, so let's refresh this page. Going to like try to register one more time. See what do we have in the console. Incoming message, object message event. Okay, fine. Uh, so in the client.js, um, I'm going to like debug this. So here, so server, and then uh, reload the page. JP, hit, try to register. Then we got the message here, and this message has the property called data, which actually has our incoming payload. If you see here, right? So basically, what we need to do as a next step here. Um, so this is client.js, right? Okay, I'm just going to like console that alone. Okay, so now that user is like successfully registered. Next thing what we will do, uh, okay, let's double check if both the users are like registered successfully. So okay, JP register, inspect, console, data welcome JP. Okay, done. Next, HA register, inspect, welcome Raj. Okay, now both the users are like registered. So till now, like everything is like fine. Next, this user is supposed to send a message to this user, right? So I'm going to write a function called function, and where is the client.html? What the send message is the message like I'm function which I'm going to write it now. So send message uh, to, and then the message, and also from. Okay, so let's create the payload here. So let payload equal to action send message data, uh, from will be like the from value, to will be the to value, and message will be the message. Okay, and send payload to server, this payload. Okay, now what is the server going to do for that? So it has to handle that action, right? So else if send message, then what it has to do? First, it has to um, get the let from. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is uh, create one more function. Function handle send message, and with the with from, to, and message values. Okay, and here I'm going to supply that handle send message, and the from value will be like data dot from, and then like 2 will be data dot 2, and then the message will be data dot message. Okay, and here what we're going to do is we need to first get the socket associated with the to address. So let um, other user or like receiver socket equal to uh, clients which has this to value. Now what we need to do, we have the actual socket. Next we have to prepare the payload. Let payload equal to um, action um action receive message. Data will be like from, will be like from, message will be like message, and then we have to uh, socket dot send socket dot send json dot stringify this payload. Okay. Oh, sorry. And one more thing is we have to use this socket because this is a receiver socket, right? So yeah. Uh, okay. And now we have to handle that on the client side. So here we are going to write a function called function did receive message with data. Okay, so let's go and handle it here. Let data equal to listen dot parse message dot data. Okay. And mm, then actually this is like actual payload. And then um, what we need to do, if let's extract the action also. Let action equal to payload dot action, and if action equal to receive message, then did receive message with payload dot data. Okay, so I'm just going to like log this data here for debug purpose. Let's see. So I'm going to like kill this, restart the server, rejoin to the socket server, register as JP, register as Raj. Okay, now I would send a message to Raj saying, and ideally I would expect the message to receive on this side, right? So I'm going to put a breakpoint here, send. So it's hitting here. What is the action? Receive message. And it's going inside here. Data from hello Raj. Okay, that is wrong, right? So we need to have the username in the from and then like message as the hello Raj. So why did it, what are we doing here? Payload.data. Okay. This is the server side. Data from, and then like message we have, right? Okay. So I'm going to like try one more time and then like see what is happening here. So the received payload is has action and then like it has data and from as like hello Raj. Um, okay. What about the message here? Why the message is like not here? Okay, hang on a second. So I'm going to print this thing here. Console.log sending message. Um, message to uh, to. Okay, I'm going to like kill this again and reconnect to the socket. AP Raj Raj and then hello and see what am I getting. Oh shit, I forgot to start the server seems. Okay, AP register register hello. So if you see here, sending message equal to undefined to Raj. Okay, so now I know the reason. Okay, why? So here what we are trying to do, send a message data dot message, right? So it looks like something is like messed up here. So first check are we sending the right message here, right? So inspect this sources, send message, and try to hit one more time. And message is like undefined. Okay, so this username itself is like undefined, and this the reason could be from the client.html where we have this thing, right? Okay, and what is the registered username here? This guy. But I don't want that actually. I want a different one. Okay, so let's check it now. So, okay, okay, I'm gonna like restart this. So connect AP. Okay, done, done. Next, line.html. Did tap send button. I'm going to type. Oh, sorry, I'm going to register one more user here. Register, and then hello. And here, Raj and hello. And I'm going to send all the send message with this message and user. Okay. You notice it here. Message is like, oh, okay. Send message needs three parameters from, to, and message. Whereas here, like we are sending only two. Okay. From, to, okay. So from will be this guy, right? So let's come back to our HTML. And this is like from, this is like to. So from and to and message. So the structure is from to and message. So from to and message. Okay. So kill this guy. Mhm. Mhm. Restart the server and connect to it. AP register, register. Yep, Raj here and then send hello and check if you are able to get this thing here. Client.js receiving side send, and we have action is this payload.data is like from is JP, message is like hello. So we have the right data with us. Cool. Okay. And the same way, I'm going to inspect this and I'm going to like JP and hello JP and then like hit send. And you see from Raj and message like hello JP. So both the clients are like able to talk to each other. So I hope I mean like from here like you can just like alert it or you can I mean just for demonstration purpose like I'll just put an alert over here. So like uh, alert received a received data dot message from data dot from. Okay, so rejoin AP register Raj register. I'm going to send a message to Raj saying hello. So hit send. Okay, so received hello Raj from JP. Okay, and then I'm going to send a message to JP and hello JP, and then like hit send, and we received hello JP from Raj. So I hope this session like gave some information and practical experience about like how to establish two-way communication using WebSockets and build a real-time chat application in a quicker and faster way. So if you guys like this session, please don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.